Your mind will always take the easy way if you let it. The only way to grow is to force it to do the hard things. That's the truth most people avoid. Every single day, your mind whispers excuses. It tells you to put things off, to relax instead of working, to choose what feels safe instead of what makes you stronger. And if you keep listening, you stay stuck exactly where you are. But when you decide to push past those excuses, even in the smallest ways, you change everything. This is not about being perfect. It's about proving to yourself that you can act even when you don't feel like it, that you can finish what you start, that you can do the hard things that most people run away from. In this audiobook, I'll show you how to train your mind to listen to your decisions, not your moods. Because once you master that, there's nothing you can't build in your life. Chapter 1. Force yourself to finish tasks you keep avoiding daily. If you really want to change your life, you need to learn how to force yourself to finish the tasks you keep avoiding. Think about it for a moment. Every single one of us has those things we put off. They sit on our desk, in our mind, or on our to-do list, and we keep moving them to tomorrow. The hard phone call, the uncomfortable conversation, the project we know we need to start, the exercise we promised ourselves, or even that book we said we would finish. These are the tasks that drain us more by avoiding them than by actually doing them. And that's the truth about human psychology. Avoiding what you know you should do builds stress, guilt, and frustration. It robs your confidence. When you avoid a task, you teach your mind that delay is an option. You train your brain to believe excuses are more important than progress. And each time you give in to delay, you weaken your own self-respect. That's the real cost of avoidance. Not the undone work, but the message it sends to your own mind: you can't trust yourself. That's why successful people live differently. They build the habit of facing hard things head-on. They finish what they avoid. And once you start doing that, you change the entire direction of your life. So how do you do it? First, you must understand that your feelings will not always support you. You will not feel like making that call. You will not feel like exercising when you're tired. You will not feel like working on that project when the television or the phone offers you something easier. If you wait for the feeling, you will wait forever. What separates people who grow from those who stay stuck is this: they act despite their feelings. They don't negotiate with themselves. They don't wait until the mood is right. They decide, and then they do. Forcing yourself to finish tasks you avoid starts with awareness. You need to be honest with yourself about what you keep pushing away. What is it you've been carrying for weeks, months, maybe even years? Write it down. Be clear. Don't hide from it. Your progress starts with facing it directly. If you can't be honest with yourself about what you avoid, you'll never build the discipline to finish it. The second step is to break the power of that task by taking action, not tomorrow, not later, but today. Pick one thing you've been avoiding and complete it fully. It might be small, it might be big, but finish it. Feel the weight lift off your shoulders. Notice how your energy changes. That feeling of release is your proof that action builds confidence. You've probably had that experience before. The moment you finally did the thing you kept putting off, you felt free. That's not just coincidence. That's psychology. Action ends anxiety. Avoidance multiplies it. The third step is to make this your rule. Never carry the same avoided task into tomorrow. If you see yourself moving something from today's list to tomorrow's list, that's the task you must finish first. Train your brain with this discipline. Over time, it becomes automatic. The mind learns that you are not the type of person who carries unfinished tasks. You become someone who closes loops, someone who follows through. That's how self-respect grows. Now, think about how this applies in real life. Imagine you've been delaying that tough email. Every day you avoid it, it lingers in your mind. You see it on your list, and you feel that small weight pressing on you. It distracts you from everything else. You even feel guilty when you try to relax. But the moment you sit down, type it out, and send it, the pressure disappears. That's the lesson. You were not tired of the work. You were tired of the avoidance. You were tired of carrying the weight, and the only way to put it down was to finish it. This is how you force your mind to do hard things. You give it proof. Every time you finish something you avoided, you show your brain that you are stronger than your excuses. That's how confidence is built. Confidence is not built from easy tasks or quick wins. It's built from proving to yourself that you can handle the things you least want to face. But understand this, it's not just about productivity, it's about your identity. Every time you finish a task you avoided, you are reshaping who you are. You're telling yourself, I do hard things. I finish what I start. And when your identity changes, your life changes. Discipline is not about rules, it's about the story you tell yourself. If you see yourself as someone who avoids hard things, you'll act like it. But if you force yourself to finish them, you build a new story, one where you trust yourself to handle what others run from. Here's another key. Don't wait for big breakthroughs. Start small. If you can't finish the hard things on your plate, start with one. Make your bed, pay that bill, clear that clutter, call that person, write that page, do something you've been putting off. These small wins create momentum. They build proof that you are taking charge. Momentum is what fuels discipline. One completed task gives you the energy to complete another, and before you know it, you've turned avoidance into action. And remember, finishing tasks you avoid doesn't just free your time, it frees your mind. Think about how heavy it feels to carry guilt and unfinished business. It steals your focus, it drains your mood, it even affects your sleep. But finishing those tasks clears mental space. It gives you peace, and peace is what allows you to move forward with strength. So here's the challenge. Pick one task you've been avoiding. Don't just think about it, do it today. Feel the difference. Then tomorrow, pick another. Make this a daily practice. If you do this for 30 days, you will not be the same person. You'll be stronger, clearer, and more confident. You will have trained your mind to obey your decisions instead of your feelings. This is the path to mastery. Not waiting for inspiration, not waiting for comfort, but taking control of your actions day after day. When you build this discipline, you can trust yourself to follow through. And when you trust yourself, there is nothing you can't accomplish. So start now. Don't carry today's weight into tomorrow. Don't let another day be stolen by avoidance. Force yourself to finish what you've been running from. That's how you grow. That's how you become disciplined. And that's how you take control of your future. Chapter 2. Build discipline by forcing yourself to take harder choices. Discipline is not built in comfort. It is built in the moments you force yourself to take the harder choice when the easier one is right in front of you. Life is full of crossroads, small ones, big ones, daily ones. Do you wake up on time or hit the snooze button? Do you eat the quick snack or prepare something healthy? Do you sit down to work or scroll endlessly on your phone? Each of these moments may seem small, but each decision trains your mind. Every choice tells your brain what kind of person you are becoming. If you take the easier option often enough, your mind begins to expect comfort. If you train yourself to take the harder choice, you build the muscle of discipline. Discipline is a practice of decision-making. Think about it. You don't suddenly become disciplined because you read a book or hear a speech. You become disciplined by choosing the harder path again and again. At first, your mind resists. It wants what feels good now, not what brings growth later. The urge to avoid pain, delay effort, or settle for convenience is strong. But that's the exact moment discipline is born, the point where you notice the easier option, feel its pull, and still move in the opposite direction. That decision, repeated consistently, is what hardens your character. You need to see the truth. Every time you take the harder choice, you gain control over yourself. You take power back from your impulses. You stop being a prisoner of mood and comfort. Imagine finishing your work even though your body begged for rest. Imagine saying no to distraction when every part of you wanted the release of wasting time. Imagine facing a challenge directly when avoidance felt safer. These moments may feel small, but stacked together, they become a foundation that cannot be shaken. The reason discipline matters so much is simple. Your goals will always demand hard work. Your dreams will always require sacrifice. There is no achievement worth having that comes without the harder choice. And when you practice choosing difficulty now, when the stakes are small, you prepare yourself for the bigger tests ahead. If you can resist the lure of 1 extra hour of sleep, you can resist the temptation to quit when business gets hard. If you can push yourself through 1 workout, you can push yourself through the exhausting days of building something meaningful. The little battles matter because they create your identity as someone who chooses strength over weakness. But how do you train this ability? Start by noticing. Discipline begins with awareness. Pay attention to the moments you automatically choose comfort. Ask yourself, what's the harder choice right now? If it's between washing the dishes now or leaving them for later, the harder choice is clear. If it's between having a productive hour of work or spending it scrolling, the harder choice is clear. If it's between confronting a problem or ignoring it, the harder choice is clear. Once you see it, commit to taking it. Don't give yourself room to bargain. Act before the excuses show up. The next step is to accept that the harder choice won't always feel good at the start. It's not supposed to. That's why it's called the harder choice. But here's the truth. It only feels hard at the beginning. Once you move through it, you discover strength you didn't know you had. Think about the last time you pushed yourself into action. Maybe it was exercise, maybe it was work, maybe it was a difficult decision. At first, you resisted, but once you started, the resistance weakened. The hardest part was getting past your hesitation. That's the psychology behind discipline. The discomfort shrinks the moment you commit to action. Another important point is to build consistency. Discipline is not about one dramatic decision. It's about hundreds of small ones. The way you carry yourself through the day matters more than any single big achievement. You build discipline the same way you build strength in the gym. Repetition. One hard choice doesn't transform you, but 1,000 will. And over time, your brain begins to expect it. You no longer fight with yourself for hours. You simply decide, and you follow through. Think about how powerful that is, living a life where your mind listens to your decisions instead of your impulses. Most people don't experience that freedom. They live at the mercy of mood. They wait until they feel like doing something, but feelings are unreliable. Discipline is the force that overrides feelings, and every time you choose the harder path, you strengthen that force. Now, let's bring this to your daily life. Say you finish work and you're exhausted. You have 2 options: collapse on the couch for the rest of the evening, or spend 1 hour on the project that matters to you. The easy choice gives you momentary comfort. The harder choice gives you growth. Say you're faced with a meal decision, fast food or a healthy plate. You prepare yourself. The easy choice satisfies you now. The harder